Dealer's choice makes a big difference.
What was that? It was an. Were you listening to it at all?
There was something with cream cheese.
There was an everything bagel for the bread,
Uh-huh.
salmon spread for the main, honey goat cheese for the cheese, double onions for the roughage, uh, wild magic was tahine made
Okay.
with powdered chipotle pepper,
Uh-huh.
and the sauce was his dealer's choice. He ended up putting dill mayo on it.
That sounds pretty dang good.
He thought so. He gave it 8.5 out of 10. So
And of course, I'm over here streaming, and what does Cat do?
cat wants to be up in your face.
Wants to be all up in my face, yeah.
Of course. How cat do?
Mm-hmm. There's regular pretzels up there, too.
Yeah. Do a few of these and put this away. Start trying to settle in for bed. I'm back. He did too. He's like, nope, I'm going in.
Right. Alright, so we are... There's the music. Just waiting on this to load in. We've got a little bit of a low coming through tonight. It's gonna be 80 tomorrow instead of 93.
Oh, hope the rain doesn't get by it.
I'm looking forward to that. It's spring, it should not be 90 yet.
Near record highs.
Yeah. Cats. There is not room for you. I purposefully did not pull out the keyboard. What button did you step on? You're only wanting to be on my keyboard, right? Because your food hasn't come out yet. That's the only reason why you want me. It's because your food hasn't come out yet. Let's see. Ow! Do you think you could headbutt me any less hard, please? Jesus. Okay, I did that thing so that way you would stop doing this thing over here. And to load. Are you comfortable? Alright, hold on. Okay, well, that's fine. Cat! Stop with the teeth, please. You've still got like 15 minutes. 10, 15 minutes before your food bowl goes off. Chill your jets. Are we actually loading in now? Huh. There's a hole in the floor. The ground loaded up in two different areas. It's not. How are you doing tonight, Sean? I think we're just gonna do main quest tonight. The trees aren't supposed to be polygons either. He's in the ground too. I just realized that. So is Kai. But like Marius is definitely in the ground. Oh, there's so much. There's so many things that are so funny right now. Yes, lightning guns. I hope sound is okay. It looks like it sounds decent on my end. Uh,
All you've got. Last week you said there'd be...
You know what I said, but we only have so much to go around.
Answers starving as well, hmm? Or are they sipping tea?
Take it up with the governor. I don't make the rules. Go home. Lay traps in the woods and pray for game. I can't help you. Godlike.
Looks like they're having problems.
Katsapa! Did a cow step on your face?
Ugh. How dare. For that, I steal your copper.
I'd like to come through in... well, I can't remember how long. I hope that's a good sign.
It's definitely not a bad sign.
I'll take what I can get. If the gods don't bless us with a harvest soon, this market will be empty come winter.
Have you got anything left to sell?
We have a few trinkets, but our stock has been low on account of the recent troubles. If you have coin to spare, take a look at what's left. There should be more once the harvest comes.
Let's see what you have for sale. All the lockpicks, please. Take the map. Oh, these are for the totems. Cool. We always need more totems. Left alone in fallow fields, this ritual blade thirsts for skin freshly peeled. In a place of worship amidst moldering rot, this idol continues to scheme and plot. In a damp hollow, its sibling waits full of rage while its previous owner decays with age. From on high, the third surveys the land, sowing the seeds of revolt near at hand. In verdant glade where old ruins crumble, you will find beads dark and umbral. Hidden in ruins of heathens long gone, the octet of skulls sings its silent song. Cool. Thank you. Plus 15 carry capacity. Huh. Okay. Thank you for your goodies. Lockpicks! I'm looking to see if there's any quests to grab on the way to the city.
Hey, you! Go away! There's nothing here.
Hello?
What do I tell Sovia? What do I tell the children? It's not bad enough that their mother a little earlier and you'd have beaten the other bandits to my crops. But I guess that's on you, isn't it?
Did you see their faces?
Oh, I saw them. Dirty, rotten scavengers. Haven't worked a day in their lives. Not real work, anyway. I went inside just for a moment. The bandits took everything. This was probably her last harvest. There's not a damn thing left to eat.
Maybe I can find them. What they look like.
Thieves. They're not from around here, I know that. They had a few elves among them. I've got no problem with elves, but they looked rough. Like they weren't civilized. You know, bandits.
I'll see what I can manage.
So I won't count on getting my crops back. I see how it is. Well, if you're following the river, be careful going north.
That was loud.
The bandits ran that way. I bet they've got a camp up there. Can't imagine what else they've stolen. They're
What?
probably living like kings, while the rest of us starve. Gods, this place isn't what it used to be.
What is these? That is not the button I wanted to hit. Those seeking the inhabitants of this building might find their new domicile within the walls of Fior Mr. Verno. Living outside the walls has simply become too dangerous. The order of Governor Vidaro, this property is to remain vacant until further notice. Okay, well. Vacant, you say? Huh.
I'm not making it up.
You're not still on about that, are you?
Me? Why do you keep insisting I have to be wrong?
Okay, well, I guess we're gonna go inside the city.
You showed up at a bad time.
Hello to you too.
Word of advice, give a wide berth to the governor's manor. Giata's about to tear that poor man a new one.
Giada?
One of our animancers. She's bright as a spark, but a mite confrontational. She came storming up the hill with a wheelbarrow full of spoiled crops. Then the shouting started.
Animancers fighting? This I have to see.
This isn't the first time Giata's put the governor in his place, but it might be the last.
I also might not be streaming for very long tonight. Maybe she could help me. I'm looking to consult with an animancer.
The governor's manor is on the far side of town. You can't miss it. Just follow the sound of foul language.
I was hoping to learn some local curses.
Looking forward to seeing what it looks like when animancers fight.
I'm so sleepy. I thought this game would be a good idea. And unfortunately, because of all of the loading screens, makes me want to take a nap. And by take a nap, I mean go Mimi's for the rest of the night. You've got the hiccups. Yes, Missy. Yes, I see you. I'm petting you. So firmly. You gonna be loud? When I don't have my face near her, she is purring so loudly, but not quite loud enough for the microphone to pick up, I don't think. Yeah. I'm not used to staying up. One, I'm not used to getting up at 4:30 at all, because I don't generally get up until 5:30, 5:45, and I'm not used to staying up. I don't stay up very often. I got up when hubby's first alarm went off at 4:30, and I wasn't able to go back to sleep. And then I had stuff to do today, so I
Ah, the Emperor's envoy.
didn't,
Come to interfere in Steel
yeah.
Root business again?
That's exactly what's going on here. With the gaming and the not. It depends. Are you doing something that requires my interference?
Certainly not. Besides, I have no more business in Fjord. If you're here to speak with Vidaro, I'm afraid you'll find the governor is quite beyond reason. These Valians and their love of animancy.
I suppose the Valens don't like adherents telling them to mind their own business.
If their experiments are affecting Adheran interests, this is our business. And when the time comes,
Okie dokie.
the Steel Garrote will be ready to ensure the safety of those interests.
I'm sorry, what?
We all have our part to play, envoy. Until later.
She's as subtle as a broadside.
Does subtle mean something different outside of Solace?
No. No, he was being sarcastic. He was being sarcastic. You. All I did was loot an herb. Come on, let me walk. Tranton Bandit Gang. Alright.
Oh, the Trantons. A bunch of buttsos, if you ask me. But they are dangerous, I'll admit. Watch yourself out there.
You're gonna be lucky to get an hour out of me tonight, guys. Oh my goodness. The Earth Blight, known as Beldereno. A number of rangers and settlers perished in a natural disaster, and now their souls are bound together in agony, incarcerated as the Blight. Please put them out of their misery.
Oh, those poor souls. Please bring them peace, Anika. Becoming part of a blight is not a fate I would wish upon my worst enemy.
Oops. Killing an ancient and dangerous bear that has taken up residence, Old Nuna, within the grotto. Some citizens familiar with the region's history recognize this bear as Old Nuna, a beast responsible for the deaths of many rangers. To claim your reward, return proof of your kill to Martella.
Be careful with old Nuna. I have a theory that her longevity and hardiness are due to an inordinate suffusion of essence.
Makes sense. Telemgan? A reward will be given for killing a group of Delemgen within the western forest. They have been acting more aggressive lately, attacking rangers on patrol and researchers out in the field. To claim your reward, bring proof.
Ah, those Delemgan. They are not
Delemgan.
evil, it is just in their nature to push back against the expansion of civilization. Still, survival of the fittest and all that, eh?
Delemgen. I'll remember eventually that that's how you say it. Get off of me, watch. Hurting my wrist. Well, why don't you just go ahead and stretch all the way out and make it so I can't touch nothing, huh? You're a pain, cat. Zorops. Yeah. I bit my tongue. A reward will be given for killing the Zorops that have taken up residence at the abandoned farms northwest of Fjord. If those farms are ever to be reclaimed, the Zorops will need to be driven away from the land. Move! Thank you. Felicia's dispatch. Wanted, Sansa, a cartographer in Paradis, has reported his assistant Felicia missing in the Emerald Stair. A reward will be offered to the return of Felicia's cartographic notes. Below is her last correspondence posted to provide clues to her whereabouts. Good day to you, Sansa. I hope this letter finds you well. I am pleased to report new progress on my charts of the Emerald Stair. I have taken up near a curious ruin that the locals call Nakutedek. Godless, perhaps? I will note it. Such architecture I have never seen. I know I should be diligent and focus on my work, but I cannot help worrying that my presence here is a burden. Though the Fiorans welcome me warmly, it is clear they have fallen on hard times. I hope to finish quickly. I am yet another mouth to feed. Kind regards, Felicia. Okay.
What else to get? What else to get? Genuine healing crystal. Rejuvenate and revitalize your personal essence. Is your soul cracked like an old teacup? They do such lovely work here, don't they?
Hang on. I know you from Solace, right?
I'm afraid I don't know who you are. Just as you don't know who I am.
You're blessed ain't mad. I remember you. I got you.
So, we understand each other then. I never thought the world of animancy could be so varied and fascinating. I can make use of so much of this equipment.
I'm always amazed by animancy.
As am I. If only my people shared such views too. Can you imagine? If you see anyone else from Sole's Keep, just do me a favor and don't tell them you saw me.
I'll keep your secret.
Thank you. I wouldn't want my fellow wardens to misunderstand.
But we still don't even know why you're here.
You know what I mean. And Marius, it was good to see you. May you find all you're looking for and more. It's important that the council not hear about this. I was once like you, weary and diseased. Now I'm a different man, and it's all thanks to healing
I'm taking all the things. Hello?
Oh, you startled me. This old woman can get lost in prayer from time to time. You must be the Adiran envoy I've been hearing about. Apologies for any hardships you may have experienced getting here. The failing crops, the strange beasts, and even the dream scourge are all the result of our neglect of the dead.
No apologies necessary.
Oh, so those gnats constantly buzzing in my ears are this lady's fault. Apology not accepted.
The dead of Fjord expect certain rituals to be carried out. I have failed to perform those rituals, and now the spirits are angry.
I imagine Fjord's problems have kept you too busy to complete the rituals.
Exactly the case. With everything happening and my own advanced age, I have had trouble keeping up. Our recent dead require a final meal to ease their passage from life. Without it, they can't rejoin the cycle.
You've got people waiting in line for their next meal, and you want to waste food on the dead?
I got food from the grain merchant stores. I just need someone to leave it at the graves. The dead will take it from there.
Flesh and bone. They bring the fruit to those who cannot eat. What tree calls for its branches to endure these rituals?
Kind of agree. This does seem like a waste of food when the rest of the town is starving.
I had to take the food. The fate of Fjord depends on it. I know Elena would understand how important it is to pay tribute to the dead.
Feeding the living should outweigh the needs of the dead, to be honest.
This does help the living. By appeasing the dead, we end the dangers their anger caused. The crops will grow again. The dream scourge will end. All will be well once more.
What do you need us to do?
You must take these offerings of food and place them at 3 grave sites where the recently dead lay. The first offering goes to a cliffside grave on the southern coast.
I can't see, cat. Thanks for sticking your tail all up in everybody's business. Whose bodies rest there?
Loggers from the old days. They sacrificed themselves to make the land habitable
Nah.
and lost their lives to creatures of the untamed forest. The second offering goes to a grave in the swamp, far to the west from here.
Your spirits wander near the swamp.
They buried the bodies of settlers there, intrepid sorts that tried to tame the farther reaches of Emerald Stairs wilds. The final offering should be taken to the truffle farm east of Fjord, where a family lost their lives to the encroaching wilds.
What can you tell me about this final grave?
Such a tragedy. A young family lost their lives there as the wilds encroached, swallowed before they could even flee.
Maybe this will help you find some peace as well.
That is the least of my worries. But yes, bringing closure to the recent dead will finally allow me a good night's sleep. I can't thank you enough for helping to ease the conscience of an old lady. Please, return when the rituals are complete.
Edict of I can't read that word today. Subsistence. How do you say that?
What was the word?
Subsistence. Subsistence. Thank you. It was not registering. It was of what it was supposed to be. Yeah. I'm gonna be lucky to last an hour for stream today. I can't read. I am having trouble keeping my eyes open between running around. I'm not doing anything tomorrow. Except for making dinner. And obviously getting child from school if need be. For the her doctor's appointment. By order of the governor's will and office, all greens, fruit, and grain of the earth are to be rationed by Fjord's proper authority, effective immediately. These temporary measures shall be in place until further notice. Any attempts at subversion shall be swiftly dealt with.
Empty again.
Seems that way.
Vidaro says the current crop looks promising, though.
How can he know that? He's not a farmer.
Be patient. He hasn't steered us wrong before.
Ooh, there's a letter over here. The apothecary shop. Martin, please apologize to your customers for the delay in sending this order. I'm afraid we can only send half of what you requested. The herbal yield in Emerald Stair was less than I'd hoped this season for quality medicinals and tinctures. I hope this shipment suffices for the time being. You saw nothing with your shiny glasses.
Clean out your soul with Honest Emil's healing crystals.
Okay. In here. Okay.
Can
There's
I
the shop.
interest you in some glaveberries or Barrett's bells, perhaps? Welcome to Poria in Velino, the finest legitimate apothecary of Emerald Stair.
Hey, kiddo. I am so tired. Ooh. Exceptional things here. Ooh. Oh no. Hold on. I am really tired. I didn't go back to sleep today, and I woke up this morning with hubby, with Pops, at 4:30. So, I'm not doing anything tomorrow except for sleeping. That's okay. I got everything done that I wanted to get done. This note is hastily scrawled but radiates with love. LM, I hope this note finds you well, but on occasion, despite the lackluster fruit, you always were the life of the party, despite your claim otherwise. I look forward to more antics soon. Till we meet again, FB. You say it. Yes, the big eeps tomorrow, and yes, I am so looking forward to being able to cook on all 4 burners.
What's the meaning of this?
Look at these crops. Look at your city. The Dream Scourge is laying waste to our home.
There is no Dream Scourge in Emerald Stair.
The land begs to differ, and I can prove it.
We can discuss this in private.
We are discussing it now.
Hello. I heard the word Dream Scourge.
The Dream Scourge is here, in the soil, and it's killing us.
You never did. You know.
Are you a godlike?
Brain. Words. Making sentences is hard right now. When we came over for Kiddo's birthday party last year, I never thought to look around your kitchen. I don't even know if the stove that I'm going to be getting from you is burners or if it's the glass plate. I'm not nosy like that though. I don't look around people's places unless it's like, hey, second home, have at. I still don't even look around Pops' parents' house too much. And we lived there for a year. Serene, at your service.
Charmed. Forgive me for staring. It's just, we don't see many of your kind anymore.
Maybe you can talk some sense into our governor. Put the fear of the gods in him.
Seems more likely you'll have to punch some sense into him.
Nah.
Excuse me, but unless you have official business, I'll thank you not to involve yourself in our private discussion.
I'm an endearing envoy. Is that official enough?
Very well. I hope you remember that behind these walls, your influence has limits.
I'm sure she didn't come all this way just to challenge your authority. As you can see, I was just proving a point to our esteemed governor.
A cart full of spoiled vegetables. You call that a point?
Ha! Emerald Stair used to be a lush garden for miles around, and now I don't even recognize it. First came the invasive species, roots and mycelium growing overnight, as though nature itself had gone mad. The Dream Scourge has twisted our lands, our wildlife, and now, our farms.
And the deeper I go into the living lands, the worse this gets.
Indeed. We were fighting the Dream Scourge before it even had a name. I believe that we can restore the land, bring back its soul and its sanity, cut off the Dream Scourge at the root. Our governor would rather ignore the problem. He doesn't trust animancy as his father did.
It's difficult to ignore dying farms once you start starving.
As usual, Giatta never misses a chance to slander me. Don't ignore her concerns, only her methods.
And you still do nothing. Before we can deal with the Dream Scourge, we first need to understand it. Unfortunately, new experiments have to go through him.
Once again, bureaucracy stands in the way of getting things done.
I'm just trying to stop Giatta from hurting herself. Animancy is dangerous when you're shooting in the dark.
Let me take her off your hands. I'll make sure nothing goes wrong.
I see you're unfamiliar with animancy. You don't appreciate just how dangerous that could be. Are you going to tell her about your family's basement? Or should I?
How dare you use that against me?
I know it was an accident, but look what it cost you. We can't let it happen again.
While we argue among ourselves, the Dream Scourge is tearing the living lands apart. Tearing our people apart.
Maybe we can solve the Dream Scourge rationally.
Then we'd better do it somewhere else. Well, Governor, looks like I'm taking some time away from my duties. I'll trouble you no more.
Your request is denied, Giatta.
I wasn't asking.
Your responsibilities are to the settlement. Turning away from them sets a precedent that I cannot allow.
Everything I have proposed has been for Fior, and you still refuse to cooperate. Under the circumstances, I don't have much of a choice.
Then neither do I. Giatta Castel, from this day forth, you are banished from Fior Mesiverno.
Banished?
What?
Ignacy, we can't lose our brightest animancer in the middle of a crisis.
Your pupil has gone too far, Quilici. Take her and leave. You're still a guest in my town, but to us, Giatta is an outcast.
I think you're making a mistake.
But I can't just let her continue to poison the minds of my animancers.
They aren't your animancers. Your father understood that.
Don't bother, old man. He isn't his father. I've done all I can for Fior Mesiverno. But you haven't even tried. Now limp back to your giant house like a good dog. We should talk somewhere private. Meet me at my house due west by the workshop.
I'm sorry, Giada.
Another mouth to feed. Maybe we'll need to let Kai hunt more after all.
You took yours already, right? Okay.
By tradition, the governor's manor is open to the public.
Way that was said, that if he had a choice, he'd lock the door and not let anybody in. They have air conditioning, apparently. Nobody saw nothing. There's a hole back there. There's a treasure chest right here. His journal. I have sworn to the people of my father's honor that there is no dream scourge in Emerald Stair. If it exists, it cannot touch our lands. When I'm alone at night, I must remind myself of that promise again and again, even if I must scream it to these empty halls. Why do I feel threads pulling away from the fabric of my community while I strain to hold it together? It's the old man and his protege, or else my imagination. But probably them. Mother's condition isn't helping my cause, neither does the wine. I didn't mean to pull my guns out. Oh, electric lines. More or less. The electricity is purple here. Journal of Jonas. Tomorrow I become the effigy. Tomorrow I become Skane's embodiment of Aora. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. For months we met by secret conclave to plot our landlord's demise, all the while working the fields as if our hearts were content. Skane teaches us to plot with the mind while keeping one's face impassive, inscrutable. Fair fights are for those with armies. The quiet slave is our whetstone, our focus. In his worship, our cause finds focus, clarity, and possibility. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip. By the time you read this, I will be dead. I pray Skane does not abandon me for speaking of my plotting, but a son deserves to know how his father died. For I have volunteered to be the effigy. Skane will inhabit my body, using this old farmer's simple flesh as a puppet of godly rage. I have been shaved and anointed. Tomorrow morning I will be your father in name only, as my manhood will be removed, my nose and ears removed, and my useless mortal eyes will be replaced with flint stones through which Skane might see the world. My son, I am sorry for the lies I have told you these past few seasons, but Skane demands secrecy. Even your mother knows nothing of my furtive service to the quiet slave. Curse my name if you must, but never weep for me, for I die for the betterment of our community, to smite our Lord's corruption from the face of Aora. Tomorrow my master chokes on his own whip, for tomorrow I become the effigy. Animancy in the modern age. Ugh. Animancy is a science both respected and reviled, sometimes by the same person. For all the research done on the topic, we still know so little. Control over life itself, something animancers have been working toward for hundreds of years. There are no real records of how the practice of animancy was first discovered, but once the spark of knowledge ignited, there was no stopping its inevitable discoveries. I've got a burp, and it's stuck, and it's giving me the hiccups. In 2260 AI, animancers, as a result of their extensive research, successfully contained and transferred a soul. The subject of the experiment, whose name is unknown, was young and wealthy but infirm. The idea was to move his soul from the dying body to that of a recently deceased man who had suffered an accident. The new body, bearing only slight decay, would house the soul, giving the man a much better life. The outcome of this experiment resulted in the condemnation and outlaw of animancy in the Indian Empire. Again, while we have no true records of what happened, as they were all destroyed after animancy was outlawed, a journal was discovered, a makeshift confession by one of the participants. Excerpts from that journal follow. 2260 AI. Foreign Prima 16. So I'm assuming like February. It is done, and the gods us of our forgive us for our arrogance. I am not sure what I was expecting, certainly not that. But what did any of us expect? Still, behind the revulsion there is a sense of pride. Something I can't deny. All the research, the studying, everything we worked for, we thought we'd change the world. How it's changed. All was in place, the twisted form lying on the table next to its new vessel. The equipment had been prepared, the tinctures and potions all carefully crafted, every detail painstakingly organized to ensure success. We most assuredly succeeded. The procedure went exactly as it should. The soul, extracted from the old body, held, bound in place to prevent it from moving on. Then the next step, transferred to the flesh vessel. It was beautiful and terrifying. I listened as they spoke the words of binding. I watched the soul move, not the soul itself, of course, but the vapor we used to detect it, as it lowered into the vessel. A gentle luminescence covered the body, and then nothing. Silence. Darkness. I held my breath, afraid that even the slightest disturbance would destroy all of our hard work. Then motion. Then, dear gods. Then blood. How did I survive? I do not know. The vessel rose from the slab and the room breathed. Every person crowded around the tables exhaled. Some cheered. We had made life from death. We had become eternal. The body closed its eyes and tilted its head, looking for all purposes to be listening for something, or to it. Then its eyes popped open and it moved. Its lips peeled back from its teeth in a horrible expression of fury. It fell on the nearest man, tearing his throat, knocking him to the ground. Then the room erupted into screams, shouts, and a flurry of bodies running, pushing, doing everything in their power to get away from the creature sitting on their colleague. But right before that happened, in the split second before the chaos, when there was nothing in the air but a stunned, terrified silence, I heard it, sitting there on his chest, face at his neck, and it was feasting. Did you create a vampire? Or was he just gnawing? Gainite scripture? Burn, feel thy hatred twist within thee, feed thyself on its bile, sustain thyself on its anger. This hatred, this bile, this anger, these shall be tools for thy rebellion. Let thine heart see that there is no satisfaction in open confrontation. Hide thine hatred, let it grow that it may fester. Make thy plots in secret. The quiet slave stays in the shadows. His face seeks not the light. In darkness doth he work. In darkness doth he move. Rebel against those that seek to control thee. Rebel against those that wish to remove thee. A stealth copy of the Midwife Memoirs. The title page is inscribed to my beloved Estelle. In celebration of your quickening, I know how our Queen of Birds comforts you. Hylia's wings bear you both on safe winds in the months to come. With love, your Maxim. My mother lived every note of life's song. Bringing me into this world was her last verse. For this, my father scorned me and abandoned me, and for this very same fact, my town's midwife and adherent of Hylia raised me as her own. When I came of age, I learned that Hylia visits us on the screams of women in childbirth, and when a woman dies giving life to her child, her soul is carried away and reborn as an avian attendant of Hylia's court. Through the miracle of the Queen of Birds, my mother has been with me, watching over me my whole life. I wear the fetish charms of the cloud singer, the bird I dreamt my mother became. My feathery trinkets look gaudy and unbecoming, but it is a signal fire to women in need that I am a trained midwife, blessed by Hylia and living every note of life's song. The Queen of Birds wills us to shepherd new life into the world, and not, as the other gods so often desire, to end it. follower of Magrin once mocked my faith, saying I worship paintbrushes and birds, piddling things beneath the gods. I do not resent other gods and the brutal necessities that they must oversee, but it is not language, love, the arts, and creativity that which separates us from simple beasts? Halia allows us to rise above our savage feral selves. I am often amused that, upon seeing our holy aviaries, visitors frequently ask, "This is nice, but where is the real temple of Halia?" Perhaps they think hallowed ground requires oppressive stoneworks and ceilings that hide the sky. They do not realize the bird queen stands not on ceremony. She makes herself manifest in the music of birds and in the beauty of the ubiquitous open sky. Halia prefers the worship of 2 children singing over 1,000 petitioners silently praying for victory. The Sky Mother asks so little of us, and yet so much. We are charged to live every note of life's song. It surprises me how many fail to embrace this divine calling. Oh, I missed one more. And a note. Deep winter. Okay. Too many words for me to try to read. Sorry, guys. Giada's agricultural report. Governor, my research points to one inevitable conclusion: the harvest will fail. Before you ignore me again, read on, listen. My father spoke of a river of souls flowing through the island. The souls feed our crops and power our machines. We agree on that much. What do you think happens when the river gets polluted? If you don't believe me, look at your own farms. The soil is hollow. It might even have the green dream scourge. The time has come to break the bones of the living lands and set them in a more manageable fashion. It may be Fior Messeverno's only hope. We should discuss this in person. I'm confident you'll see reason. Giada. Governor Vadaro, all this talk of the dream scourge infecting the land has grown too loud to ignore. If it was just Quisili, we could see our way past it. Call him senile and the discussion's over, yes? But now Giada is speaking for him, and you'd be hard-pressed to find an animancer who doesn't trust Giada Castell. To put it plainly, we demand results of one kind or another. Let the old man do his research, or find some way to discredit him. If you're lucky, he'll discredit himself. What are you afraid of, Ignacy, we wonder. Either way, this has to end. It's tearing us apart. Your father would have put a stop to it by now. With patience, your friends in town. So he's being threatened, and that's why he's acting the way he is.
I'm sorry you had to witness that spectacle. Giada is a spirited animancer, but she can be intolerable at times. Whatever you may think of us, I welcome you to Fior Messiverno.
Why don't you listen to Giada or Quisili?
Quilici wants us panicking over what he can't even prove. If there's a threat to Emerald Stair, it's that old man and his fear-mongering. Don't waste your time on him.
Do you mind if I worked with Giada?
Be my guest. Take her away from here. As far as I'm concerned, she's your responsibility.
This Nimdude wouldn't see a Balrog coming if it did a little dance right in front of him.
If there's nothing more, I have a city to run.
Did you know Elder Rosanna has been leaving food out for the deceased?
The short answer is yes, I'm aware. And I've tolerated it, up to a point. We are a community of animancers. Among other things, we have a healthy respect of the dead. I have no wish to anger the departed, but then again, my first responsibility is to the living.
Your people need these more than the dead.
Fair enough. I'll make sure these rations make it to the tables of those in need. Help yourself to a small bounty. As for Rosanna, she means well. We can leave it at that.
Okay. Cool.
Is this the governor's mother? Blessed a shame.
The Valiant Republic swindled me out of the Sangreta Ducala, denied me my born right to lead Sprinto's government. I would not take such insults lying down. Skein was behind me all along, whispering in my ear, caressing my shoulder with skinless fingers. Together we sowed a revolution. Now you can actually taste the fruit it bore. I can only imagine the day Sprinto awoke to discover the empty halls of academia, the pillaged libraries. Where did our brightest minds go? Where are the animancers? They blamed me, yet they have no one to blame but themselves. We journeyed to this frontier in defiance of valiant republics. We remain because our community is a living revolution, proof that we can thrive without a golden chain around our necks. Ignacy, I write this in a rare moment of clarity. Before he left us, your father was a proud, stubborn, wonderful man. Let me offer you a word of advice on his behalf. To those who rule with power, are destined to be overthrown by power. Those who rule with heart are destined to be cherished long after they are gone. I can feel the fog drifting back over my thoughts. Goodbye, Ignacy. Hopefully not for long. Your mother, Estelle. Shimmering wings, gnashing teeth, chew through the dirt. Where are my hands, Ignacy? Where are my hands? Can you all come out of there, please? Thank you. Okay. Ugh. I love you guys. I cannot stay awake. Like I'm reading, but like every time that I'm not moving, I'm half drifting. So I'm gonna end stream here. We will play again tomorrow, probably. Y'all have a good one. Good night, guys.